Hi, my name is Connie Nichol. I'm the environmental scientist at Nutrien Fort Saskatchewan. I coordinate anything related to environment stuff. So I coordinate the monitoring, reporting of anything to do with air, waste, groundwater, surface water, soil science, remediation. I'm kind of a one-stop shop. So it's really nice to have that kind of variety. There's something different, seems like every half hour of the day. There's certainly some environmental reporting aspects of it. Every industrial facility needs to monitor different environmental parameters and report those to the government. So reporting is something I need to coordinate. But I'm fortunate that I am also able to run some reclamation projects because I really like to get out in the field. I supervise university students. There's usually a master's student working on a research project, so that gives me an opportunity to go outside. And I've established a really big research garden and forestry experiment just outside the door. So I like to go dig in the dirt and plant lots of pumpkins. And, it's nice to get out and get your hands dirty. Reclamation is kind of returning the land back to what it once was. So if it's contaminated, to remove those contaminants by whatever method you have, and sometimes that's replacing the soil, and then putting that land back to uh, something useful. My favorite project right now is a reclamation of its byproduct gypsum. It is a byproduct of the fertilizer industry that can actually be used beneficially to grow trees, to grow vegetables, to grow squash. So we inherited these historical phosphate fertilizer facilities. We have old ponds, we have big piles of this byproduct gypsum, and they just sat and sat and sat. So I partnered with the Canadian Forest Service and the University of Alberta a number of years ago to figure out the best way to reclaim these stacks of gypsum. And what you see behind me is the best way that we found. We create soil, we plant concentrated hybrid poplars. They grow 1.5 meters to 2 meters a year, and they've created all this wildlife habitat and ecosystem diversity. And it's been a really fun project because we've been able to turn 50 acres of wasteland into a beautiful forest and garden. So it's been quite nice to see that you can make a difference. My background, I have a degree in agriculture, a bachelor's degree in agriculture, and then I did a PhD in soil chemistry at the University of Alberta. I got hired as an agronomist in 1995, and I ended up working on new fertilizer product development for about a year. And then I got sent to Denver to work with Boeing Aerospace on remote sensing and GIS for precision agriculture. And then I came back to Canada and I worked on controlled release fertilizer and new fertilizer products again. But I was flying all over the States and setting up trials with different university professors for crops like cotton and onions and soybeans. And so there's never an opportunity to stop learning. And it's only really in the last little bit that I have kind of taken my agricultural type skills and applied them to environment. So now rather than trying to grow the best crops, I'm trying to improve the facilities as much as I can by coming up with kind of innovative reclamation procedures and cleaning up some historical contaminated land and places where there's too much fertilizer or contaminated groundwater. It is just a specialization of agriculture, so I think it helps to be interested in science stuff. Um, to have some curiosity about the natural world around us, and there's just kind of some broad science skills. There's a little bit of calculus, there's a little bit of physics, there's a little bit of biology, and you can kind of go into whatever avenue of soil science interests you the most, because there are a lot of different directions that you can head. It's very helpful to have a knowledge of everything from the tractor equipment and seed drills to forage mixes. I'm learning about forestry as I go along, but yesterday, for example, um, I had to go to Nutrient Ag Solutions and talk to their chief agronomist and buy some forage seed and then figure out the best way to seed a pollinator mix of flowering plants and clovers into a reclaimed pond. So there's a lot of being able to grow things and understanding soils and that can be applied to many aspects of reclamation and environment stuff. Embrace any opportunity. Don't turn down stuff because you don't know anything about it or you're not sure you're going to like it. Um, there's always the opportunity to learn. So I would start with something that you're interested in and take any opportunity for summer jobs or offsite courses or in-field training. And also I find it's really useful to, I call it cross-pollinate, but to go to um, different conferences or take different classes and talk to people that are in different disciplines. The favorite part of my job is I have a research garden pumpkin patch. So I grow several hundred different kinds of pumpkins up on top of my reclaimed gypstack. And we have white pumpkins and orange pumpkins and yellow pumpkins and green pumpkins, blue pumpkins, and some of them are big and some of them are striped. And we bring them all in. We decorate the reception area in the warehouse, and people walk in and they have this wall of color and shapes, and it just brings a smile to everyone's face. And then we raise money for the United Way so people can take home any of the pumpkins that they want and they make a donation to the United Way. And so we just kind of spread happiness. And so I like the fact that, we were able to make a difference and grow things and put a smile on people's faces. So environmental studies and agriculture are very gratifying because at the end of the day, you can look back and you can see what you've accomplished. And that is always a really good thing. And when I retire, I'll drive by in 20 years and I'll see my forest and know that I made a difference. So that's my favorite part, I think.